What up, no? Already.
Have you ever seen people do that?
You
know, have you ever seen people get on a Facebook Live and they're doing like this? They're like, "Oh, hey there!" Like they didn't know that they were recording. Oh,
I'm such a bad actress. I could not know. Oh, hi. No. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Y'all ready? So, y'all, welcome to another installment of The Coach and the Disconnector. Over here to my, this way? No, that way. That way. To my right. My right. Yeah. That be Coach Carrie Irene. Welcome back, sis. I missed you last week.
I missed you last week. I was sneaking and listening while I was closing down at work. I had my headphones in.
Ooh. Don't be telling on yourself like that. It's like a whole show. You just straight up told on yourself. You go back and check the record anytime now.
Look, this is my worried face.
It looks a lot like your Kool-Aid face.
Same face. How was your week?
Man, my week has been extremely busy, but extremely awesome. Well, I won't even say it was a bad spot. It was just a final decision. Like I have a sibling whom I love, but I refuse to allow to, get me off of my kilter, so to speak. So that's a done data. This version of him I refuse to deal with. So if you need something, you're dying straits, sure, I'll be there. But like regular conversation and feeling sorry for the situations you constantly put yourself in,
not so much.
I could do without that. I don't repair your own relationships if and when you feel like it. That's where I'm at with that.
Right.
But it feels good to let that go because I know I tried. I tried my best, and it's not even that I did my best.
Right.
I did my best as who I am right now in this moment versus who he is right now in this moment.
Right.
And right now, it just does not align. It's not meant to, and I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's all you can do right there.
But other than that, and even that was a high point. Like I said, did it anger me in the moment? Did it make me feel a certain type of way? Absolutely. But I let it go quickly because I told y'all, about 3 weeks ago now, I had that major meltdown. And since that major meltdown, everything else that has been challenging me, I accept the challenge. I might get ticked off for about 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, doesn't really matter in the moment. I got bigger things to be worried about right now. The things that are supposed to work themselves out will. The things that are supposed to be removed from my life will be. And I just gotta let it go and let it flow. That's where I'm at with it.
Let it go and let it flow. I like it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So what's your week been like, sis?
Good. It's been good. I've had 2 days off already, so that was good. Broke up my week a little bit. So it's been really good. And my birthday is Friday. Today?
Whose birthday is it? Whose birthday is it?
Friday. Hang on. Let me see. Saturday. My birthday is Saturday.
I know your birthday is Saturday and you don't. Oh my goodness.
I've never been a big birthday party celebrator type of person. Like I remember the biggest probably party I had is Ed's had a thing for me at it was my 30th. That's why it was my 30th birthday party. And then other than that, it's just I don't even remember having a birthday party like per se past like 10. I've just never been a birthday person. So
I've had very small birthday parties. I've never had a really big birthday party because I've never had a type of friend group to throw me a really big birthday party, and I'm not throwing myself a big old birthday party. I feel like that would be too much like work on my birthday. Like
right, and it's my birthday. I don't want to even be involved in anything to do with plans. Like if something comes up, all right, I can say yes or no, but like planning it and all the things that go along with that, I'm not interested.
Well, happiest of birthdays to you, Facebook user.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm excited for today. I talked today.
Beautiful. So guys, as we come on here this fine evening, be sure to say hello, hello, hello. We missed y'all faces this whole week, and Carrie been missing y'all faces for the last 2 weeks. But we
I
have a
know.
special guest in the house. Coach Tea Nicole is in the house, y'all. She is an author, a speaker, an amazing individual, and most importantly, a generational curse breaker. So let's bring on Coach Tea Nicole. See what she got for us.
You know,
Welcome, Coach T.
Hi, how y'all doing?
we chilling, flowing, in ease with the breeze, all of that. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, and I have to apologize because where I'm at, I'm not getting a real good service, but I'm still here, and I knew I had to show up, and I'm like, all this electricity in the room from both you two ladies and then me, I'm like, I know what it is. It's the
Uh-huh.
frequency.
Come on now.
Uh-huh. And that is right there.
And as she fights with the tech devil over there, y'all, we are actually going to be talking about showing up as yourself. Just removing all the masks, removing all the fake responsibilities that we are given and all that fun stuff, and just showing up as yourself. I'm still getting used to just simply showing up as myself because I don't know if I was taught this or I thought if I just perceived it as learning it this way, but it's like if you care about people, you kind of force yourself out of your own normal shape to appease their needs in any given moment.
Correct.
Yes.
And it shouldn't be like that all the time. Every now and then it's required to make a little bit of a sacrifice for people that are a little bit different than you and don't see things the way you see them. But that shouldn't take up any more than 25-30% of your time at most. Honestly, in my life, at this point, it's like 12%.
Yeah. I agree, but I think I agree with that more than you even agree with. Because I agree with it to the extent of everything, like attach it to everything. Why do we spend any time? Why even the 20%? It's not our decision. It's not our path.
Right.
You know?
That part. But why do we do it? Coach T, why do we do it?
Why is it so hard to be authentic?
It's hard because, like, for some of us, when we haven't been able to show up as ourselves, it's like it's easier to not be yourself, especially when you have experienced so many different traumatic experiences. And it's like you might be comfortable being an
Oh, she'll be back. But my experience with this has been very interesting, right? Because I've always been an oddball. Carrie, you kind of had to. We were those people that in high school, we got along with everybody, but everybody kind of looked at us like, how you get along with everybody?
Right. That part.
And it wasn't that we had a whole lot in common with everybody, is that we believed that everybody had something in common and that we can connect with that. No matter what that little thing was. Oh, you like this sport? I like that sport. What else can we talk about? Oh, you like this? I like this. What else can we talk about? We were those people that went through this world looking at people and understanding that either you're one of two ways. You connect with somebody, you're like, what do we have in common? Or you connect with somebody and you say, why am I different from this person? If you ask, how am I different from this person? Stay out of my circle.
Right.
I don't have time for that kind of trauma.
But you know, the thing is getting to a place in life where, for me, I can only speak for me, but my goal is to be in a place in life that it doesn't matter if you annoy me or not. It doesn't matter who shows up in my circle. What matters is how I conduct myself at all times.
That part.
So that I am authentic in every action that I take. And if I allow my comfort to be associated with someone being in the room or them not being in the room, then I'm still limiting myself to different rooms. And I don't want to limit myself to any room. Like, I want to be able to go in any room that I ever want to go in, even if there's someone in there that has done the worst thing to me that I can describe.
And that's an interesting thought in itself, actually. I want you to expand on that.
Well, I feel
I'm not somebody that
it's
would allow myself to be
possible.
in the same room with somebody that I know has done me
Right,
dirty and have no
right,
no good intentions for me.
right. And see, I don't have a problem with that. Like, I don't have a problem being in the same room. Now, maybe, will some thoughts go through my head that probably isn't of my highest elevation, of course. But I accept the fact that I'm human and I'm going to have those thoughts. I don't have to act on them, nor do I have to let them take root in me in a way that it alters my emotions
Right.
or holds me captive to the emotions that I felt initially. I just feel them initially and let them go. But I'm not going to roll around in them and carry them around and put them in my backpack and make sure I carry them with me everywhere I go. I'm just going to act accordingly when it happens and move on afterwards. Because now I get to decide, am I going to carry this or not? Is this, do I want this to be a part of my experience tomorrow too? It was bad enough today.
Right.
Why would I do this again tomorrow? And we do it
That's,
again.
like I said, that's a very interesting way to look at it. Me, here's how I'll say it. If I was in the room with somebody that I know to be distasteful to my beliefs or my experiences with that person, they just happen to be there, I would be respectful and cordial. But if I found out ahead of time that they were going to be there, I would not place myself in that room.
There she is. She back.
I am back. I do apologize. Like I said, this Wi-Fi,
No
I don't know
need
what's
to.
going on, but thank you.
We just rolling with it.
Everybody knows how Wi-Fi is. Everyone has had this experience. We all empathize.
But I'll tell you something about today. The tech devil has been busy today. You've been busy. And you know what? We keep going and flowing with it. It's just what we do. But Coach T, I want you to go ahead and expand on the last side you left off on before your phone started having a mind of its own again.
See there? I should go.
So, Coach, what have been some of your experiences that you've actually practiced what you just said? People that you know, like me, you know good, but yet you still place yourself in areas and or spaces that that person knowingly or unknowingly was in. And what were the benefits? What was your experience? What unexpected things happened in your favor because you made that choice?
That's deep. That's like a you gave me a whole itinerary to fill out. That's an outline. Oh. So first I'll start with obviously I'm just gonna start. How about that? It is interchangeable. It is an interchangeable experience to speak about me being in a room of someone who does not serve me as me being in a living room with a whole bunch of stuff that is just there because I bought it.
Wow.
A lot of these things don't serve me either, but I'm not mad at them.
Right.
So you can apply that to anything. My experience is how I use these things. So if someone is in a room that I don't mesh with, I'm not going to utilize them. They're not in the equation that I need for success. They're just here. Like this blind is so appropriate for this window, but I don't need it to be successful.
And that's the important part. We've all encountered those people in our lives that made us believe that they were the only way to get to where we were seeking to go.
Right.
And I feel like those kind of people are necessary because those are the ones that either help you see yourself or at least let you know you're not ready for that level you say you're ready for because your actions are proving otherwise, right? If that's all it takes to knock you off of your path, because I had a mentor that really, really tried it. Oh, he freaking tried it, man. But what I realized after that experience was I wasn't meant to go any further with him because he had connected me to the people I was supposed to be connected with.
Right. Yeah.
How you think the connection with Tracy Randolph, Melissa Mimi Simmons, Shima Stroud, you, Sarai, Raymond, Raymel, Ryan, Coach T, Coach Toy, Bishop Johnson, Dr. Brother Suave, all this happened because of that one bad actor. And no matter how bad he is, he still made good happen whether he intended to or not. Because I stay blessed, man.
And it's your decision what you see. It's your decision what you gather and you take with you, or you release, or but all of it's your decision on your experience and your perspective. So yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
All right, Coach T, while we got you for another hot second, what you think about all this?
I need to add to that because that was profound. So in my situation, like right now where I am today, I left home and I moved in with an individual that was supposed to, or not supposed to, that invited me to come stay. They opened their doors to me, but then so many things showed up. It was like I was talked to as if I was a kid, and it was some violation that had took place as well. But it caused me to see the reflection of myself, the way that I act, and then the things that I still needed to work on. And it was a time where I was confronted by the enemy. And it was like, what I mean by the enemy. So when I was a little girl, I was violated in a way that I didn't have no control over. And it was like the little girl showed up. She was like, for me, she was like, Therese, you was a kid and this happened to us. You couldn't fight for yourself. But now that you are an adult, you a grown woman, you got to stand up. So that caused me to see me, and I did not give up. And I did not go in. Instead, I stood my ground and I spoke up. Because the little girl, she couldn't speak up. She didn't know how to speak up. So when you said that about your mentor, you was able to meet new people on your journey. So like this just happened. It was fresh, but it just brought back to my remembrance what happened to me as a child and how I couldn't protect myself. So I'm like, from this moment forth, and each day since that day happened, it's like I've been meeting new people that's been coming into my life that been genuine, and I had to learn how to trust them. And it was like, at first I didn't trust people, but to be able to get in this situation and see it for what it was, and that inner child came and spoke, and I had to tell the inner child, like, I will protect you. I am your protector. And I needed them to see, and when I say them, I'm referring to me. And so that is so profound, and that was needed right then and there.
That's so powerful. And I'm glad you got that experience, because sometimes it takes going back to realize how far we've come. To realize we no longer belong in that space. And the one thing that I constantly remind myself of is never completely write certain people off. With me, it's hard to make me just be done with you. Like, you have to do some real grimy, shady, like, I don't care about my fellow man type stuff for me to be like, you know what? You have no place in my life. And I'm to the point now, like, I don't care if you're a blood relative. You can't at that point. You just happen to be related to me, because family treat each other like family. I should be able to call you and take care of and ask you for help just the same way that you can call me and ask for help. Because if I got it, it's yours, and vice versa. And it doesn't need to be money. It could be a place to stay. It could be $20 in groceries. It could be assistance on a light bill. Whatever it takes. It could be, I need you to watch my kids so I can go to this job interview. It doesn't always have to be money. It doesn't always have to be an inconvenient amount of time. The fact that you will do anything that you can to help me in certain circumstances is enough for me. But when you show me that what really exists is jealousy, what really exists is blame for something I had no control over ever. Ever. Now, at one point in time, you could convince me, oh, I should have been there. I should have done this. I could have did that. I didn't know. How do you help a situation that you know nothing about? It doesn't mean that you don't care about the situation, it's that you didn't know. And if you go out your way to rack yourself with guilt about something you could have never prevented because it wasn't your place to.
Mm-hmm.
God allows certain things to happen to us to mold us into the people that we need to be in order to get to the levels He needs us at.
Powerful.
Coach T about to run. Coach T about to run. Go ahead, run. Oh no, I didn't mean like that. I didn't mean like. I didn't mean like.
But that's the craziest thing that I keep understanding, and I keep getting the lesson over and over and over again because I'm learning my lesson.
Yeah.
But He's like, and your heart's still not where I need it yet. Your heart's still not where I need it yet. I need you hard, but not too hard. I need you to see the big picture piece by piece the way I painted it for you. And the corners are coming together, and the edges are coming together, and the edges are starting to fill in towards the middle. And the closer I get to the middle, the heavier the challenges get. And it's scary, yet it's absolutely awesome at the same time because it's like you know that you're getting stronger and stronger. You know that can't nothing hold you for too long, if at all.
Yeah. Yeah. If at all.
I need to while I'm here,
Mm-hmm.
Brandy, you saying so much. This is when I say it's on time and it's necessary. So I just hope and pray that our audience is really listening to what you're saying, because here it is. Like I said, I'm in a whole new space. It's some new challenges that I am faced with currently. And so when I say I'm showing up as myself, and I know I'm a generational curse breaker, so there I am being attacked on many different levels, but it's not for me to just be attacked, but it's for me to grow. It's for me to get an understanding and to see where He's taking me, because I already believe and I know without a shadow of a doubt that it was a price to pay for this. Now, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but it needed to happen the way it did, so that way I can be elevated to the next level. Exactly. And that's with anybody that goes through a situation.
In any situation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That part. And I still get mad when I encounter certain things, but I'm letting the anger go because the anger served a purpose at one point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But the anger now just makes me feel a certain type of way, and I let it go a lot more quickly because at first it used to drive me. It used to keep me pushing forward no matter what.
Right.
But now I find I move through situations and experiences faster when I lean on my logical mind, if that makes sense. Because our emotions are so powerful, it can drive us to do amazing things, or it can drive us to do amazingly bad things in a moment.
Right.
And so the balance between that logical mind and your heart is very, very, very important, especially the more you advance to higher levels of things, because the higher you go as far as impact, connection, expansion of businesses, expansion of whatever our positive outreach and impact is supposed to be. Like mine is like background stuff. It is. We might be on this show right now. I'm on Film Talk every Tuesday. Yes, I do this, but I get a lot more done in the background quietly than most people will ever know. And I like it like that because I've learned from history that if they don't know what to tear down, they can't tear it down. And once it gets big enough, I let everybody know everything.
Right.
Not there yet. Ain't there.
Yeah. The laboratory.
And Coach T, that's what's going on right now. You learning how to build and rebuild. And be built up.
Yeah. Being buried and being planted is the same thing. It's just the belief in what you put down there will come up is the difference.
Woo!
I love it. That's it.
So what's next for you, Coach T?
I can't hardly hear you. Say it again. What you say?
I said, what's next for you in this season?
The next thing for me, because I've had a lot of time to spend by myself, but I'm rebuilding some things that were broken. So I'm getting ready to launch some things. And so I'm just preparing. I'm in my phase of preparing, rebuilding in order to unleash. And so that's why I say it's some things that's taking place. And this last experience exposed me to who I really am and what I was really created to do, because I love what I'm doing in this season. But when I had to get out of my comfort zone and be uprooted from what I was familiar, it's like now I can hit the ground running, because I was looking at things from a comfortable space when I first started doing all the things that I was doing. I see how I was able to maneuver and build some things, but I was in a lack, like I was in a mentality where I was surviving. So I mean, not surviving. It was like it was a survival mode. I was in survival mode for the last couple years of my life. But when I knew I could take back my power, it's like now I gotta keep going forward. So when I say we showing up, you have to show up in every area of your life. So it's like I had to go through these things. So now I'm just rebuilding, rebranding, and getting everything in order so I can be unleashed in this next season of my life.
Amen to that.
Man. I seen Coach T. I met you for the first time at last year's High Vibe. We coming on 1 year from High Vibe. So High Vibe was July of last year. It hasn't even been a year yet. When I tell you this woman has come such a long way in just months, we've all seen it in this tribe. And you can't because so many people believe that it takes years and years and years for major changes to help you pull yourself out of certain funks, out of certain cycles, out of certain toxicity levels. It doesn't take long. It just takes focus. And Coach T is a testament to that. We've seen it. This woman is so powerful. She's like the master of ceremonies at this freaking conference, y'all.
Yeah.
And I was like, why did it take me till now to know who this lady is?
Right. Right.
And you know something,
It came
Brandy?
at the perfect time,
Brandy.
though. It came at the perfect time.
You know something, I want to say something while I'm on here, because I hate that I cannot get everything out that I want to, but I feel like what's coming out needs to come out. And so you said something, we haven't seen each other in face to face. It's only been a year since, well, not even a year since we really seen each other. And when I was speaking, I had the pleasure to host. And so I am a life coach.
Right.
I wanted to be dramatic.
This is something you guys are going to notice, though. When the devil is busy, he get real busy. And it takes on different forms. The devil, you can believe the devil to be a physical entity. You can believe the devil to just be negative energy of any sort. Whatever you identify it or him as. He moves the most and the swiftest when you on the verge of something big. And that's why I could get pissed off. I could get irritated and be like, why isn't this functioning properly? Or I just be like, I see what it is. Just roll with it.
What was you saying, Coach T?
So what I was saying was this, like, I'm a life coach. I created an organization, and I did a lot of different things, but I really didn't know my power until now. So I'm going to say this and just be done with it, because give me a mic and give me a stage. I'm just waiting on that grand opportunity. Even though I'm doing what I do here in this space, but give me a mic and give me a stage, and that's where I'm going to be the most comfortable. And what that means is, because now I can confront my aggressor. Listen to what I'm saying. Anybody that's watching this, for a long time, I was quiet. I never wanted to speak up. I never wanted to talk about sexual trauma, the issues of surrounding it. But now that I know who I am and my power, because these last couple weeks they've been different for me. And so I'm only going to say this because I don't know how much time I got, but to be able to do what you're called to do, to love what you're called to do, even if you don't have a lot of money, it's so amazing. So me speaking, me coming on this show, me being able to host my own show and to be able to be a voice of a survivor of sexual trauma, I'm excited for what's to come and for who I'm going to encounter, because I need every person that has been traumatized by sexual experiences that you did not volunteer to have. I got a place for you. And we coming strong. So I'm excited for this, and I'm emotional. That's why the enemy didn't want this to come out, but it had to. So just know I'm coming. It's about to be unleashed very soon. So thank you for having me on the show.
Yes.
Anybody that's watching, if you're trying to figure out who you are, where you belong, you are right where you need to be.
Indeed.
I love it.
Oh, wait, look at that.
Wow.
It's like a virtual mic drop. It's like a virtual mic drop. And you are right where you need to be.
Right. Kaplow.
I love it.
So, y'all, it's actually time for a commercial break in my segment, Piece by Piece with the Disconnected. So let's go ahead and get this short commercial in, and let's get this segment in, because it's needed tonight. It's definitely needed tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
So y'all stick with us. We be back.
Whoop, whoop.
What's up, y'all? So this is the short segment, Piece by Piece with the Disconnector. And today, I just wanted to invite y'all to say no for a few days, okay? Some of us, not all of us, some of us has moved past this, and we're comfortable with saying no when we want to say no. But I want to explain how much peace and control and clarity comes with saying no when you don't feel like doing something, or if it inconveniences you at the expense of your peace. Your peace is important, because peace is important to balance. Balance is important to achieving joy, happiness, growth, all of that fun stuff. But in order to start to get there, you got to start saying no, because no helps you develop boundaries. Boundaries help you create space in order to tap into the things that you truly want to be or be doing, whatever that might be. So, say no to babysitting if you don't feel like babysitting. Say no to lending money if you don't feel like lending money. Say no to going out if you don't feel like going out because you're tired. You want to have some time to yourself. You want to just take a nice long bath, watch some garbage TV, eat some bonbons, and chill. There's nothing wrong with that. I do it at least once a month, if not more. Depends on the month. So that's simply all it is. And if you're having an issue with this, that's okay. At the end of the show, in the comments, I'm going to drop a link. I am building out a Vibely community. If you don't know what Vibely is, it's a community, it's a social networking community, except for it's very, very focused on positivity, good vibes, and building people up. So that's why I chose to go with this platform. It's free. Join if you want to, because slowly but surely, I love you guys on Facebook and everything, but Facebook is slowly but surely becoming a little bit nerve-wracking. So I'm going to slowly start to shift over to the Vibely community that I'm building, because I want a positive, wonderful space that people can honestly be themselves and learn how to build themselves up in a way that they can detach and pull the plug on the things that are causing dysfunction and whatever else is causing a disturbance in your life, because we don't have to put up with it. Even though we were taught that we needed to, we don't. And so we're not going to anymore. So if you're ready for that, click the link that I'm going to put in the comments a little bit later. And that is actually this evening's Piece by Piece with the Disconnector. Say no. Do it for 3 days. See how you feel. And get back to me. Drop it in the comments how you feel after a few days. So with that, back to our regularly programmed program. Shut up. Don't be laughing at me in the background.
I didn't even do that.
Tracy said it earlier, y'all. She loved Carrie's facial reactions and stuff. She still had their reaction in the background. I was sitting here having a serious conversation about saying no. Okay. Semi-serious conversation about saying no and grabbing hold of your piece. And Carrie down here laughing at me because I said, let's get back to the regularly scheduled program.
You said the regularly
program. It's a program, y'all.
It wasn't so much as what you said, is that after you said.
So y'all, Coach T is still having some technical issues, and we're going to keep flowing with it, because regardless, Coach T is going to be back on this show, whether it's this evening or whether it's another time, because when I tell you, I love people like Coach T. The ones that remind me that though there are a lot of assholes in this world, everybody's not an asshole, and everybody, and you should seek or at least be patient enough to run into the people that aren't complete and total enemies of the human race sometimes. There ain't a whole lot of them. It just makes it seem like there's a lot of them sometimes, but we outnumber them. We just got to continue to find each other and build, y'all.
Oh, absolutely. And again, don't let the things around you keep you from building. Just know what you want to interact with and what you do not.
That part. Oh, by the way, the link to the Vibely community is actually in the description of tonight's show. So I'll also copy paste it in the comments, but it's already there, y'all. Go check it out. I haven't even started building that community yet. So whoever wants to join, come on in the room, as Coach Toy likes to say. In the room. But guys, for seriously though, it's an interesting season. It's an interesting season because Carrie has had things just kind of blow up and kind of try to throw her off of her balance. I've had things blow up multiple times. I've had like 3 things just come out of nowhere, like bah, bah, bah. I don't know whether I'm ducking or dodging at this point, but I'm doing something.
Either will do.
Man, I don't know what's going on, but whatever's going on is about to be absolutely freaking awesome. I know and truly believe that, because every time I've gone through things like this, I've come out stronger. I've come out with stronger connections. I've come out with new connections. I've come out with better understanding. I've come out with better patience. Mm-hmm. Patience is something that I had to really learn.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I'm a kid that like puzzles. So I have the patience for puzzles, but I never had the patience to like learn how to crochet from my mother. And that's something she really, really wanted me to learn. But there's something about all the hooks and the loops and the knots does not interest me at all.
That's when patience means interest. Some things you shouldn't even worry about testing your patience with. If you don't like to do it, that's not testing your patience. That's testing your brain, like your smarts about yourself. Don't be doing stuff that you don't want to be doing and consider it testing your patience.
That part.
Yeah,
because I patiently fish. I love fishing.
No.
Carrie, when we going fishing again?
Oh goodness, I don't even know.
Coach Troy, you go fishing?
Girl, she in the room somewhere.
That would be the funny. Y'all, if we can get ICC tribe who going fishing,
Oh, girl.
we need to have a whole vlog of that experience.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just leave it there. I don't know
So,
about
Karen,
that.
how you showing up? Cause you took on the full time.
Uh-huh.
So how you showing up as yourself even on the job?
Really, I show up there like I show up everywhere else. I look at what's going on for that day. For like, what does Tuesday look like? What did tomorrow? I'll be thinking, what does Friday look like? And it'll just be Friday. I show up there like I do everywhere else and see what experience is going to happen that's going to allow me the opportunity to express my innate God given ability to experience whatever happens the way I want to experience it. And then let it go so that I can experience the next moment just as uniquely and just as purely. That's how I approach work and everything I do, which is why I went back to one of the reasons why I went back to work. I wanted to experience it a different way than I had in the past. I wanted to, because I mean, and I told my boss this in the interview. I don't have to go back to work if I didn't want to. I know how to live way below my means. I know how to live off of nothing because that's exactly what I had, and I saw that I was okay. So it's just this fear that I don't have when it comes to money, or it comes to lodging, or it comes to hygiene, or it comes to I know or what I eat and stuff. I don't have some of the proclivities that some people have for comfort.
Right.
You know, I can be what someone would consider extremely uncomfortable and still be completely comfortable. So now that I've realized I can expand that same beautiful experience to anywhere that's uncomfortable, that's how I approach every situation, whether it's uncomfortable or not. I just say, this is just what this feels like.
So do you believe that the discomfort further connects you with your true self?
No, I don't believe in discomfort. I just
You
believe in my true self. And I allow my true self to experience whatever happens. And now I don't label anything as discomfort. I just say that word in reference to what we would classify it as if we were not okay with it. But I'm okay with it. So it's not really truly discomfort for me.
All right, Carrie, you just took a trip to the fifth dimension on us.
Hey,
The scary part is
you
not
right.
understood what you just said.
It's just, yeah. And I love it.
Man.
Yeah, I do. I just love it. And it's not that I don't get pissed off. It's just like, oh, well, that makes sense that I got pissed off, but I'm not going to be pissed off all day.
Oh,
you know
no.
What I mean? Like, it's like a revolving situational thing. It's just an experience and whatever comes. If that includes you being upset for a second, then you're upset for a second. But give it its reference. But also, you got another fresh moment right here. You got to give it its reference too. And angry was appropriate for 2 seconds ago, but that's over.
And so we come back to not only showing up as yourself, but also showing up in the moment.
Yeah.
Because a moment is not the same moment by moment.
Right. Right. And it goes for good and the bad. We talk a lot about releasing the bad, but a lot of us create limits by comparing happy moments to other happy moments. They're all happy. They're all happy, but we want someone to make us happier than the last person. We want somebody. It's like, how do you compare happiness?
Yeah, how does somebody make you happier than the last person? Like, when our happiness is ultimately our own responsibility.
Right. And I want to use an example of something that's very cliche, like something such as money. Let's use money. We say we want money. We say we want money, so we'll be rich, and we'll whatever we want money. But if we had money and nothing to buy, what value does money have? So then you have to look at, well, what would I buy with my money? And then start looking at those things and say, okay, If I didn't, say for instance, well, I wanted a car. Okay, if I didn't have anywhere to go, then why do I need a car? Then say, well, where would I go? And you start, that's how you do with yourself. You start looking into things, you bring it back in, and you feel like, you're going out, but it's really you're going in. So if something bothers me, because we've been talking a lot about being in rooms with people who may turn us some kind of way and make us feel some kind of way, instead of saying that person annoys me, just say, what about that person annoys me? And then why does it annoy me? What is it within me? What does it remind me of? Because for me to compare that and label that as annoying, something at some point in time has made me that same kind of annoyed. So I need to look back and see, where did this annoyance begin so that I can unhook it.
Man, I had one of your moments the other day, sis. I had one of your moments the other day. So I looked at a situation and I thought about the person in question. I was like, I don't trust that person. And then I walked that back. I walked that back because it's not that I don't trust that person. It's that I'm not trusting my own judgment of that person.
Okay.
Whether they're trustworthy or not is no never mind to me. Because all of us appear differently to different people. To some people, I'm the biggest asshole and bitch they've probably ever met. To others, I'm somebody they couldn't live without.
Right.
And to me, I used to get hung up on that, right? Until I realized the people that I'm supposed to show my full self to require that I trust myself on a level to know when it makes sense to reveal my full self and potential to somebody. If that makes sense. I could encounter a homeless person, have a conversation with them, leave them with a little bit of money. If I don't have much money, or if I get a strong intuition that they have an addiction, but they look malnourished, I will invite them to come in the store with me, pick something to eat, whatever it might be. Same way you might do with that relative that needs to pay their bill, but if you give them the money, it ain't gonna go to the bill.
Right.
So when I begin to trust myself on that level, I realize certain things just don't bother me as much. And I'm getting to a point that I want it to not bother me at all. But if it doesn't bother me at all, I'll stop striving to help change the things that I'm not okay with. And we belong to one of those tribes, one of those levels of things, so to speak, because new levels, new devils, and all that fun stuff. Right. But we are members of the, we don't like it, so we're going to change it. Right. And we're crazy enough to know that we can change it.
Right.
And what I absolutely love about that too is with that trust factor that I'm talking about. The more trust that I learn to have in myself, in my intuition, my skill set, the tribe that we're building, the network that we're building, the connections that we're making, no matter how tenuous or strong they are, the more we learn to trust ourselves, the faster we move through the paces, the steps, the process.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm loving about this experience called life.
Yeah. We will all end up in the same place. And if that is true, and we all know that, like there's a lot of things that we dispute on, but one thing is that we are all going to physically die. Right. I don't think anyone believes that the actual body will go on. Like no religion, no sex, no anything. We all are going to end up in the ether some way, by dirt, dust, smoke, evaporation, meltdown, whatever. We're all going to end up back ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
That's what it say.
So why do we waste our time trying to worry about someone else's path, period? This is all we
ask myself that question.
No idea when we're leaving, and yet we waste our time worrying about what someone else is doing,
or like thinking about
whether it's we're driving down the road, someone's in our lane. You just worry about your lane. Go around them if you need to, slow down and let them pass if you need to, speed up and don't let them up, whatever. But we spend the next 15 minutes thinking about whoever, we never know their name, in the car, 5 cars back, and looking in the rearview mirror to make sure that they don't get over for the next 10 minutes. Why?
I'm worried about people that got that kind of time on their hands.
Why am I still thinking about this? Like,
you ever see them folks that they'll be riding in the fast lane, right? And they're not going the speed limit, and then you go around them. Then they got the nerve to get pissed off at you and speed up to try and go around you, and then you're like, you could be going that speed the whole time. Like, that's what you're doing in life for real. Sure. You're so busy trying to get back at somebody, you're forgetting to actually live your life. And while you're at it,
or you're trying to understand why they did it. Yeah, we're either trying to get back at them for doing it. We're either trying to understand why they did it. We're trying to compare it to something that somebody else did or something that we did. And it's just such a waste of time. It's just such a waste of energy. It's it makes me tired to think about it, that someone would dispense their energy. Like you have your day. You wake up and it's Thursday. And you have your energy, an infinite amount of energy to do anything you want to do with it. And most people are like, well, I don't have a lot of energy. I can challenge you on that in a minute. But you assign what energy. And some of us, we do. And you can say subconsciously or I'm unaware of it or whatever, but you do. You assign your energy and say, you energy, I'm going to assign you to being miserable all day, because we're thinking about shit we don't want to think about what somebody did to us, how they hurt us, how they mistreated us, we don't trust them, how we're going to get back at them, how next time we see them, or what we're going to do, or how we're going to be, or how much it hurt and how we're never going to trust again. What about 8:53 p.m. on Thursday, March 31st? What is it right now that you can just sit and breathe and just don't think about anything that you don't want to multiply in your life? It could be something as simple as, I like the color. I'm going to take this pen and for the next 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm just going to doodle. I'm going to put on a good song or a good station. I'm just going to doodle. I'm not going to do nothing. Not going to think about nothing, not going to worry about nothing. And when I find myself doing that, I'll see it through the end so I don't have to repeat it. And let this shit go. Because today, now it's 8:54 p.m. I can choose to do something else now. And at 8:55, I get another decision. And at 8:56, I get another decision. And we think that something traumatic or drastic has to happen in order for us to really appreciate or move on, but it's really just one decision away. Hello, Emilio. It's just a decision away.
Yeah, I love that idea. Not even an idea. The truth of what you just said. When we truly acknowledge how much control we actually have over our lives, it's like shaking an Etch-a-Sketch. It's like everything just kind of falls away all at once when you truly embrace it.
Yep.
And realize, okay, you went from, I have to go to work because I have to pay these bills, because I have to pay for this car, because I have to pay for childcare, because I have to put food in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's that. But when you say you have to like that, but you also claim to believe in God or the universe or God and his infinite universe in which he created, however you see it.
It's all the same.
Back to that trust piece. You trust God as well as your judgment paired with faith without works. You know about that piece. Or are you refusing to relinquish the reins and you have to do it no matter what because it won't happen without you? How full of yourself do you actually have to be to go through life thinking like that?
Right.
Girl, bye.
When we die, life goes on. Immediately.
You have no choice in the matter of when you leave this earth. What makes you control this little thing?
It doesn't even miss a beat. So why are you so worried about something that doesn't mean anything while you're here when you have the chance to really just do whatever you want to do? Like if I wanted to get up right now and take this water bottle and just squirt water all over the living room, I can do that. I literally can do that. If I want to take my phone, you know how you see it on the movies and you just crack a phone over a knee? I can. Oh, just crazy. If I want to take a break and just go to the closest bank and just bang the window in just to hear the alarm go off for the thrill of it, I could. It's just like we truly can do anything. Now, there's consequences to anything, right?
Right. There's consequences to free speech.
Right. But we can. There's nothing hard.
But you know what you just remind me of, and you probably haven't seen it because Carrie don't be watching movies, y'all, and she be missing some of the best movies. But Shrek the Third, there's this little funny cartoon character, and he wanted to see Shrek roar.
He wanted to see Shrek do what?
He wanted to see Shrek do the roar.
Roar. All right.
So he said, "Do the roar, do the roar." I don't want to roar. Do it. When you said something about squeezing the water bottle all over the place, I almost said, "Do it."
I definitely wouldn't have got it. I would be like,
yeah, then I would have been fighting with somebody later.
No, I just don't want to clean it up. That's really the only. I know.
But it's just water. The electronics, it'll clean itself up.
Not working.
Y'all were just complete witnesses to random thoughts and fifth dimension treks. So this episode tonight was absolutely very interesting because you got to see just how we push forward no matter what. We've had tech issues the last couple weeks. I've had tech issues all day, y'all.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is in the atmosphere, but I'm excited about it. At one point in time, I would have been pissed off, irritated, why me? But now I'm like, what's next?
Why not?
What's next? Because it's gotta be awesome to be having this many problems, to be feeling this uncomfortable and embracing being uncomfortable, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. You hear that so many times in the space, you don't understand what it means until you finally do it. And you're like, oh,
yeah.
Well, shit, what took me so long?
Right. So this is what it feels like. Right.
Yes, that part. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us this fine, wonderful, amazing evening. We hope you guys are doing fantastic, as in Intimate Marie's favorite word. Next week, we are going to be talking about mental health with our sister queens, Laura Cabrera and Ebony Willis. And I'm excited about this conversation because some of us are told that we're mentally ill when in some cases we're just severely misunderstood because we kind of function on an entirely different frequency from the average person. Right. And so we're seen as abnormal or awkward or mentally ill. Mental illness does absolutely exist, but sometimes it's made worse by those that try and treat something that isn't actually, it's outside of your understanding of normal.
It's made worse by misdiagnosis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So with that, you guys, we want to thank you. Of course. But we want to thank you guys for your time this fine evening. We want to love on you. If you are somebody that would love to come on the show and be one of our guests, you're more than welcome. Just reach out. Let us know when you're available, what you want to talk about. And as long as you align with some positivity and impact that will help somebody, you're in, like Flynn, man. But with that, we want to thank you guys. We love you guys. We will see you next week. Definitely tune in for that show because you know how we go. First 10 minutes, last 10 minutes. Rest of it, free flow. We don't know what's going to happen. Y'all don't know what's going to happen, but we have fun anyway.
That's what it is.
Later, y'all.